All right.
And
Are we good? Let's face it, when you're going through a hard time, there is nothing better than that big, bold belly laugh. And today I'm so excited to bring you someone who has been filling our hearts and homes with laughter for over 30 years. She's an award-winning actress, a best-selling author, and a title you might not know, Master Coach. Please welcome the most amazing and very funny Kim Coles.
Hello.
Hello.
That's a good intro.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm like,
Thank you.
in living color,
Yeah.
living single is
Yeah.
probably how most people know you. And I'm
Yes.
like, girl, you've been doing a lot of living.
I've been doing a lot of living and I'm not done yet.
That's right. Only getting started.
Exactly.
So I have to ask, it's probably such a typical question, but did you know you were funny? Like, did you, like, growing up be like, this is my thing?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I have a one-woman show and I show pictures of myself. Maybe up until age 16, there's no picture of me smiling with my whole mouth. I was a pretty intense little girl. Like, I got that things were funny. I loved Bugs Bunny. I loved Carol Burnett, but I intellectualized how funny. Like, that's funny.
Right.
I'm sure I was joyful, but there's no pictures of me smiling. And it was about age 14 that my sense of humor really blossomed because I used it to fit in high school.
Good old high school.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I remember looking at the landscape and going, okay, I'm going to be teased for being the fat girl. But if I'm the funny girl, I may be able to get people to laugh with me instead of at me. And so I used what I didn't even know I had all of this wealth of 70s, 70s television humor within me. And I would perform and I would do funny voices and funny walks. And it really made me, I'm proud to say, popular. I was the class president all 4 years. I was on the cheering squad and all the things that you don't think that the fat girl gets to get.
Right.
And I got them just by being funny. So the answer is 14 onward. I was soaring.
Okay, it's funny because you say the word fat girl, and I don't care what size you are in high school, we all feel like we are that person,
Of course, yeah.
And then growing up, and when did you know that you wanted to be on camera? Because I feel like body image really comes into full effect when you're like, okay, now I'm going to put myself out there for everyone to see.
Right. I guess I didn't think, oh, now I want to be on camera. There was a transition after I dropped in and out of college about 100 times. There was
something else we have in common.
Well, there was an acceptance because plus size modeling became a thing. So it became, oh, wait a minute, there's a niche that I fit into that I can do my thing. And so I started doing fashion shows and, hosting fashion shows. And so my size wasn't a problem because it was the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even though inwardly I had my own issues, but outwardly I was having a good time. And stand-up comedy came out of being a model because I was asked to be in a beauty pageant for plus size women, and they said there was going to be a talent competition. I was like, I don't have any beauty pageant talents. I don't sing or play a concerto. I wasn't elegant.
I don't do that.
Yes. I don't do that. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I do know how to twirl a baton because I had been on the twirling squad. I was like, I know what, I'm going to twirl a baton and make fun of the girls who twirl batons and say they want to be Miss America. And then on stage, I ripped off my dress and I was wearing the same little sequin outfit. And I had sewed sequins everywhere. And a size 16 girl twirled her baton and I won first runner-up. And that was the night that I discovered stand-up is what I should be doing.
Okay,
so
do you know how much I love that story? Actually, being someone that has been in pageants,
know,
I wish I would have done that.
Well, and I think it also spoke to, the audience was saying to me, you're being yourself. You're being your authentic, goofy, perfectly imperfect self, and we like that, right?
Yes.
And so I tell people I didn't win the crown, but I won comedy that day. And so I still hadn't linked it that, oh, I want to be on TV. I just knew I wanted to be Carol Burnett, Lucille Ball, and all those funny ladies. And I didn't go, oh, I want to be on TV. And it was like, oh, I need to be on TV. And I figured that out along the ride.
Yeah, what you just said though really resonates because most of my clients, it's so scary to put themselves out there because they're trying so hard to fit into a mold that they feel like they need to be in. And the sooner you can get that, listen, honey, you are so good the way you are, and what can you do that is truly you? Right?
Listen,
and
I think people resonate more than ever with authenticity. And so it doesn't mean that you don't polish up the you that you have. It doesn't mean that you don't sit a particular way and wear clothing that suits you best and get your hair and makeup done, but be the best version of you and learn how to emote or do all the things that we're doing, but through all that, you have to shine through, and the audience knows it, the online audience knows it, the audience sitting in the crowd, people recognize that, and they will applaud it, resonate with it, and want to be in your presence, whatever that means.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's this energy. It's magnetic.
It is.
And people just really gravitate towards that. And I saw you once, and I'm like, oh my God, I love her. I need to have her at Brilliant. It was one of those things, because you are so real, Kim. And this is so important for all of us to understand what our gifts are and what we bring and how we can bring them out. And I'm like, I don't need to be you, right? You don't need to be me. We can teach the same thing, and there's plenty of people in the world. And even the little chat we were having, it's just like there's enough in the world for all of us, right?
And people will resonate with you, or they'll resonate with me, or they'll resonate with someone else. But if you're being your authentic self, here's the other piece of it too, Carrie, is that it takes less work. If I'm trying so hard to be something else, then I've spent just way too much energy.
It's exhausting.
It's just easier to do you, to learn what you need to learn, to be the best version of you, and then go put that out. And you will be surprised what you are magnetized to.
Yeah.
I know you know.
Yeah, absolutely. We need more people to know.
Yes.
So let's go back. Tell me about kind of that big break for you. And what that felt like, because I feel like I don't care if you're trying to make it in entertainment or you're trying to make it in business. There is a point where you work, you develop, right? You build the muscle, the chops, and then there's like a tipping point.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? What that was like for you?
I think so. The pageant night was the night I was like, oh, this is what I should be doing, and
twirling a baton
and making people laugh.
Yes.
And with the baton. And by the way, the early versions of my act, I kept twirling that baton. That was my act.
Yeah.
I started going to a comedy club in Manhattan, and it was the club that made Eddie Murphy famous, or that Eddie Murphy had come out of. I was like, I want to go where he's been.
Yeah.
And it was starting to do the comedy clubs. And what's interesting is that there were a couple of tipping points. There was no one quite like me. I came up with, the Joy Behars, Ellen DeGeneres was around, Paula Poundstone was around, so many wonderful, amazing.
So wonderful,
right?
yeah.
And so I was different, I didn't talk. I didn't do self-deprecating humor, self-depreciating.
Yeah.
Self-deprecating.
Deprecating.
I didn't make fun of myself.
Right.
Not in a way that
comes later.
That comes later. Not in the way that a lot of, especially female comics at the time did, because that makes an audience comfortable. Like, okay, now we can laugh.
Right.
That's a whole conversation. And I think in Living Color, when it came around, when they were auditioning people who could do characters and do stand-up, when Keenan went looking for those people, I was like, oh, this is me. Because at the time, now I had taken my beauty pageant talents and it turned it into a bit. And I used to do in my mind, the last 5 contestants in the Miss America pageant. So I would do Miss Florida and make her Latina. I would do Miss New Jersey, and she was, spitting and talking and grabbing. I did Miss Mississippi, who couldn't spell her own name. It was all the things, like
not a stereotype at all.
And her name was Kimberly Ann. Thank you. And then I did Miss New York, and she was, and like the audience, and I just spin around and do it, and that was the thing that got me noticed on this show, or to be on this new show. And so by 1989, we shot the pilot. By 1990, it was on the air. And so that was like I have arrived.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
So I can't imagine that the rise was steady, because it never is. So was there a point that, after in Living Color, that there was something that came up, or and then you got Living Single? Like I said, lots of living in your life.
All the living.
So just kind of share with us a little bit about that.
So it was steady for me in the beginning. So in 1985, I stepped on the stand-up comedy stage for the first time. I would say by 1986, I was on local television. Maybe 87, I was on national television, because I was on a show called Showtime at the Apollo. And as a performer, not as a contestant. So I was steady rise. Living Color, steady rise. And then I got fired from In Living Color. It was a show that was full of let me say this. most sketch comedy shows are extremely competitive. And then when you work in a place where it's a family-run show, there's not always room for everyone to shine. And so somebody had to be released, and that was me.
You're like,
right.
yes.
But within 18 months, I was on Living Single, and I didn't even have to audition for that show. That was a gift from the heavens. Oh. And so I'm saying that, again, a steady rise. And then I had 5 years on that show. The bump in the road didn't happen until after Living Single got canceled. And I now had done the whoop, 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 and I was like, wait, can we just keep going? So I
like, there's a jam here. I
there's
can't quite
what's
figure
going
it out.
on? Exactly.
Traffic jam. Yeah.
I've been jamming. What's going? I've been jamming, and now there's a jam.
Yes.
And so I did other shows. I did Frasier and some other lovely, iconic, amazing. I did pilots, but they didn't get picked up.
Right.
And it caused me to go into a depression because I've been jamming. Like, what's going on? Have I lost my mojo? What's going on? Why? This is supposed to be easy. And so many performers have, you know, that it takes them a while to get started. I was like a rocket, and it kind of spoiled me, but that's my journey.
Yeah.
And it set me up for this fall that was a depression. Oh my goodness, I've lost my mojo. And keep in mind, I'm really not the girl who was really ever planning to be famous. I just wanted to make people laugh.
Right.
And
because they say when you go and seek fame, you'll never find it, right?
True,
when you go
true.
and do your hard work and do what you love, fame will find you, if it's supposed to, right?
I agree with you. And when people come to me like, "Hey, I want to be famous like you," I go, "We can't even have the conversation." No, you don't, because it's the work. It's just got to be your life work. It's got to be in your heart, because
and that
fame,
is for everything in life.
For every single thing, you have to move towards success and move towards doing well at what you do. But if you're seeking accolades, if the accolades never come, it's got to be confidence from within. It's got to be the work that you the way you make people feel. That's got to be enough to feed you from the inside, and then literally feed you. Feed you.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're going for the fame, it can be. And there's also people who will do anything for the fame, and we've seen that.
Yes.
And we've seen people flash quickly, or we've seen people flash out, or we've seen that and smelled that desperate thing. Let me say this to you. I remember when I first landed in LA, and I left A Living Color, and I started going on auditions again. And I remember looking around the room going, all right, so here's what I don't want. I don't ever want to be that 40-something desperate actress, because you can smell it. You can really smell it. And there's an energy that you have. It doesn't mean that you can be unemployed, but you don't want to be unemployable, because that makes you unemployable. Who wants to be around someone who is like...
That is good. We got to tweet that. That is some good stuff.
You want to know who I got that advice? I've never told this before. I actually got that advice from a bankruptcy attorney. I went to go see a bankruptcy attorney because I was like, I got to figure this, because I got into debt because I started shopping. The way I expressed my depression is I shopped. I shopped all of that money I made away. I didn't feel like I was worthy. I didn't feel like I deserved it. Who am I? I'm just this, girl who was trying to be funny from Brooklyn. I shopped all of that success away. And I went to go look at my options. And first of all, he said, "You're not ready for that. You're going to be fine." And he said to me, "Next residual check you get, go get your nails done. Go get your hair done." I was like, "What, I look raggedy?" He says, "Who's going to hire you if you look, he says, "You got to show up and show out. Get your nails done." He says, "I should be telling you to pay your bills, and you should pay your bills, but look like the success that I know you are."
Yeah,
and
that's good.
I've never told this either. I saw him years later, first class on a plane, hallelujah, and he looked at me and he said, "You're doing okay, aren't you?" I was like, "I am." And that's a choice. I mean, of course, there are people who use that as a way to, rebuild themselves. There's nothing wrong with it. But I didn't. So if you have that air of desperation, you can be, how do I want to say, excited to work.
Yeah.
You can be excited to build your next thing that you're building, whatever it is. But when you get into that place of
desperate,
then it's not.
And we all feel it. I don't care what you're doing. Like we call it the starving actor syndrome, but it's like starving anybody. Right? That desperation. I need the sale. I can't make it. Like, it's just a repellent. So that is good stuff. Yep. Now, one of the things that you said that I have to hold your hand, because we say this together, and it was one of those soul sister things that when I read it, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know we were born like soul sisters. You say, things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
I say, what if everything that has happened to you has actually happened for you?
I say that
you
too.
Say that too.
I
Isn't
say
that
it too,
good?
and I really believe it.
That perspective changes everything.
So you went through this depression, you shopped your money away, right? You got your nails done, and you put yourself back together. But kind of tell us, like, what was on the other side of that for you, and how did you get to the other side? Because someone maybe just lost their job, or they're in that place where they've reached that point where they don't feel like they're doing their life work, or they're in a divorce. Something happens, right? There's times
there's
in our
always
life
something that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I went all the way to my version of bottom, whatever that is. Like I kept feeling bad, and why am I not working, and who am I now? And I just want to make people laugh, and I don't know. And I got to that place, I'll be honest, where I was like, you know what, God, I've had a really nice life. I'm good. I can leave now. No, I'm good, because it hurts so much. And I don't know if you've ever had this thing where you wake up in the morning, you're like, why did I wake up this morning? This hurts so bad. You go to bed crying. Right. That's what we have in common. We all do have that. So what came on the other side was, I've got to get myself into therapy, because I'm having unhealthy thoughts. And I have such awesome parents. They do not deserve a daughter who checked out. Like, my parents are awesome. And neither one of them deserved a daughter to say, I'm giving up. Like, I kept thinking of them going, okay, I got to figure it out. So getting into therapy, and I happened to manifest a therapist who was actually spirit-based. And she said, okay, here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to go into your past. We're not going to dig up all that stuff. We don't have time. I just need to get you grateful right now. What are you grateful for? And I was like, lady, didn't I tell you I was depressed?
Right.
I'm blue. She said, no. What are you grateful for, like, right now? Do you still have a roof over your head? I was like, yeah, they're fitting to come and take it. But you're still
but
in
it's still
it, right?
there today, right?
You're still in it today. And so every day my job was to write 10 things I was grateful for. And I couldn't repeat the list. So at first I was like this, and I've said this, you've heard me do this on stage. I'm grateful for the 5 fingers on my left hand. I'm grateful for the 5 fingers on my right hand. I'm grateful. And like 2 weeks in, I ran out of things to like cheat with. Like, oh, I'm grateful for this thing. And I think God said, okay, let's send you some things to be grateful for. What about that pretty fluffy cloud? What about the fresh air? What about the fact that all the things? I was like, I could put all that on my list. I started feeling better. And what's interesting is the next residual check that came in, for the first time, I didn't shop it away. I was like, okay, no, you can actually save your home. You can actually buy some new hair. You can actually get your nails done again. Like, do the things that will keep you. And so just looking for things to be great. And it's a great game. Like, perspective. And so shifting that perspective, I don't even remember the original question, but shifting the perspective.
Well, just the saying that we both believe, what if everything happened for you and not to you?
But here's the thing. So then the next thing I got, so there's a Zig Ziglar quote, and I hope I get it right, but it goes something like this. You can have anything you want if you help enough people get what they want.
Yes, that's a good one.
Right?
Yes.
So then it becomes, don't be selfish, help others. And in that way you will grow, and you don't stay with the finger pointed at you, like, how can I help you and you and you, and give in that way. We know the give.
Yeah.
And it worked.
It changes everything.
It really did. Yeah. And anytime I'm feeling a little stuck, if I give, so much more comes back.
I love it so much. And that's actually what I teach when it comes to on-camera work, because for us it's easy. We've been doing it forever. But for the people I work with, Kim, like, that's a scary thing, right? And so I'm like, when you think about who you want to reach through it, instead of thinking about you and what you sound like, and you're like, I don't like the sound of my own voice. I'm like, I love the sound of your voice.
Well, I have my moments too.
Yeah. I don't care how long you've been doing whatever you're doing. We all have that inner critic, And when we can say, how can I help more? How can I serve more? It actually becomes so much more fun and easy, because it's not about you.
It's not about you.
I'm so excited to have you at Brilliant this year, Kim.
It's not about you. I can't wait to be at Brilliant.
I am so excited.
I also love the name of it. One of the things I say is I help people to broadcast their brilliance. So Brilliant is like one of those.
Perfect synergy.
It's one of those things for me. It's one of those words, because we all have that inside of us. And the work that we do is we help others to bring that forth.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't that be a good thing?
Yes, it's a great thing. And I'm so excited to have you. And one of the things that you're going to be sharing, which is something we don't deep dive into, and that's why I'm so excited to have you join us, is really, we all have these magnificent stories.
Yes.
And yet, when it comes to being seen or building a business or building a brand, it can be very overwhelming with what do I share? How do I share it? Because sometimes people just throw up way too much story too.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, I did not need to know all of that.
That's a way to tell it. You know, I've done some of it today where I've told some of the dark moments that I had, but I didn't take you all the way to the depths. And there are some people who teach that, like take people all the way down. It depends on how much time you have.
Sure.
It depends on what your goal is and what the audience is. I do think that you can still be transparent, share your story, because here's the thing about story to me, because once I've discovered this, oh my goodness, I'm doing this. So for me, it's about connection. And so when I hear someone's story, and by the way, it is primal, it is in our DNA as humans. We love story. We resonate with story. It's how we learn.
We read our
it's how
kids'
we teach.
stories. Like it's all about story.
It's all about, and we listen to our elders tell us, you know, stories. Even down to when it was like, which berries do we pick? Don't take those. Those are poisonous. That's a story. Those are good, and those will be nourishing. It's all story, right? And so if we go back to that thing, what if everything that's happened to you has actually happened for you? You take your life lessons, your triumphs, your mistakes, which aren't mistakes, they're lessons. And you infuse that in your what is your why? Every person who started their own business started their business to fix something, to save something. You know this phrase too. We teach what we most need to learn. And then someone turned it around and I was like, oh, we actually came here to learn what it is we need to teach. Boom.
Shakalaka.
Enjoy. We're good to
drop it.
So like, what if you learn all the yummy stuff, all the yucky stuff? What if it happened to you because you were meant to heal it, and you were meant to help other people navigate it? And so here's the thing: what happens is that there's a connection. When I hear your story, I'm going to resonate with it, even if it's not the same life that I have, because I'm going to be searching. Could I have been that courageous? Wow, could I have been that smart? Wow, could I have been that crazy? I don't know if I could have been that silly. Whatever the things are, people are looking for themselves in you. And so you must bring that to the table, so that helps to differentiate you from everyone else. You bring you.
That is the differentiator.
That's
it is your story.
So
when people come to you, you said there's two questions that people ask you all the time that you're going to be dropping at Brilliant.
The bombs here. I'm bringing the good stuff. The two major questions are, there's actually three. I don't think my stories are interesting. Are my stories interesting? The next one is, how do I tell my story without telling all my business? And the third one is, how do I tell it? Like, how do I tell it? And so I love to tell people I have a proprietary system. It's a really easy system. We all know the hero's journey. But the hero's journey can sometimes be complex. I have a really, I call it the 4 C's. Challenge, choice, consequence, conclusion. And if you hit all of those things in your story, you will have a format to be able to get it out of you. And then we can go in and fine tune it and add what I like to call humor and heart, or add the depth moment and the this moment and all the things. But if you just go through that, that's an easy way to do it. And
okay, say that one more time.
The 4 C's.
Yeah, 4 C's.
Challenge, choice, consequence, conclusion.
Ooh, I love it.
Right?
So good. Yeah.
Right? And
yeah.
so...
And we're going to be going through that at Brilliant, kind of walking people through that.
I could go through it now, but come to Brilliant.
Nope,
so
you just
really
need to come to Brilliant.
You need to come to Brilliant. And it's really easy, and I can take anybody's story and instantly go, that was your challenge, that was the choice. Sometimes choices are choices you make. Sometimes the choices were made for you. And it's what you do with those choices. And in the end, it's perspective. And when you're able to come out from it and look at it and go, what did I learn, and how can I teach someone else what I know? And that's your business. Most people, entrepreneurs start something that they had a problem with, right?
I mean, Richard Branson started his first business based off of a problem, right? So it's like, we just need, we want to fix something. We want to make something easier. We want to inspire. We want to help someone get there quicker, faster. So it's all good.
It's all good. And then it becomes easier. Then it becomes, listen, you and I know as entrepreneurs, there are going to be milestones and walls, and how do I climb over that wall, and issues, and I got to learn how to write a thing. I got to
do a what?
And
this social media what?
And let's not even talk about Confusionsoft. You've heard it called that before.
Infusionsoft. I got you.
Confusionsoft, which is an email system if you don't know. But it makes
more to know.
It makes it so much easier when at the core of all of it, you know your why and you know why you want to help others. It makes it all so much easier.
Yeah. And again, it takes the onus off of you.
And
man, do
get
I love you. I love you.
I love you
I'm
back.
like, we could sit here and talk forever.
Well,
but
let me say this too. This is about
Yes.
connection, though. We
Yes.
met at an event, and this is the other thing too. You have to get out there and just put yourself out there. You were the host of this beautiful event. We crossed. I don't even think did. I get to meet you before the event?
No,
Did we
no.
meet? So it's like we crossed, and here's what's funny. You don't know this. You're on my speakers reel now because you introduced me, and then we had this great love. Okay, bye. I gotta leave you on stage. You gotta go to the other. You're wonderful. I love you. Oh my God. And so we connect,
Yeah.
and you go, and you said, come and speak at my thing. You don't know when you show up and be authentic. You have no idea what opportunities are there for. This was easy. You're like, want to do my thing? I'm like, yep, I do. And so we're all trying and being, and it's like, no, trying to do, I should say, and all it is just being.
Yeah, and we were saying too, you're so welcome, and thank you for saying yes. And there's something so magical about getting out and meeting people. You know, I mean, we couldn't have had this connection through a Facebook Live, you know, and I'm all for getting yourself out there that way, but nothing will ever take the place of being heart to heart with someone in a space and feeling that energy. And I have to say, that's what makes Brilliant so special. It's like the vibration of the room, Kim, is just out of control. It's amazing. And everyone has these hearts to serve, right? And wants to learn to become better. And I just can't wait for you to be there and to witness it. And
well, it starts with you. You set the intention for it, right?
Yes.
And I'm excited about it because magic happens on the elevator or in the buffet line.
Yeah.
It's
or
really,
over a cocktail.
or over a cocktail. Is there a Brilliant cocktail, like a Brilliant branded cocktail?
Oh, we will have a Brilliant branded cocktail.
Oh, there will be a Brilliant.
Oh, there will be. Yes, there will be. All right, Kim. Of course, we're going to tell people how to get to Brilliant. But if they're not able to come, it's sold out, or they, for some reason, see this after, which I'm so sorry. It's a very sad day for you. But
she does it every year.
Yes, yes. But there are other ways they can get in touch with you. How is that?
My website is kimcoles.tv.
It's a good one.
kimcoles.tv.
All right, we're going to put it right down so people
it reminds
can click
people
on
that I started on TV and I belong on TV. Plus, someone bought kimcoles.com and they're sitting on it and it's driving me crazy. I was like, I will not be stopped. kimcoles.tv.
See, again, do not be stopped. It's all good. And we're a .tv too, so it's good. See? And if you want to know about how you can get in front of this amazing lady and learn her proprietary program on how to build your incredible story out and come and be surrounded by other incredible visionary women, go to thebrilliantevent.com. It is June 2nd through the 4th. And again, if you miss it, we do it every year, but it's all about getting out, being connected, and being your true, authentic self. So we want to hear, what did you get from today's amazing interview with Kim Coles? Please post it, and better yet, please share this, because when you are inspired, you inspire others, and by goodness, that is what this world is all about. We got to share the love. We got to pass it
what?
on.
Living.
Oh, it's all bringing it back to the living.
All bring it back to the living. We belong together.
We do. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for watching this Inspired Living interview. If you want more inspiration, head over to inspiredliving.tv. And more than anything, please remember to keep dreaming it, living it, and being it. Until next time.